This keynote will be delivered by Mr. Anubhav Bansal, Vice President, International Hotel Supply at MakeMyTrip, India's leading travel technology platform. In his current role, Anubhav leads the expansion of international hotel partnerships across key global markets. Across an 18-year career, he has held leadership roles at organizations such as Delivery, Samsung, and Bharti Airtel, building and scaling complex cross-border ecosystems across travel, logistics, telecom, and consumer businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Anubhav Bansal on stage.
Thank you for the welcome. Good evening, everyone. I believe we are in the last hour of this beautiful day and wonderful event. And thank you all for joining. Thank you to all the leaders, to all the owners who are present over here, who are shaping the future of hospitality in Middle East. So before I start my presentation, I wanted to share a very simple picture in front of all of you. Just imagine a family sitting in a part of India right now on a couch, a family of 4, and scrolling their phone. Obviously, they're not booking any hotels, but they are looking at reels. They are looking at reels which talk about desert safari, which talks about Burj Khalifa, which talks about Dubai Mall, and various other experiences that they can have in Dubai. For them, Dubai right now is not only a destination, it's an emotion. Now imagine 4 weeks from now, they are booking flights, they are booking hotels, and they are booking experiences in Dubai. But the decision of making the booking, the decision of doing the payment 4 weeks from now is not happening after 4 weeks. It happened today when they were looking at the reels, when they were looking at social media, and they were forming an emotion. So that's the era that we are living in right now. And hence the real question is that who is helping them shape the demand? Who is helping them shape the demand before the traveler starts shopping, right? So that's the topic that we are here to talk about. That's the topic in next 18-20 minutes I'll talk about. And one of our panelists before this also spoke about that how Google AI is shaping the demand or changing the demand. And maybe by end of the presentation, I am able to solve that and I'm able to give an answer to that. Now, hospitality, like I spoke, is not supply-led, it is demand-engineered. The demand today is created and not just captured. The travelers, they are today influenced from the stage of inspiration, from the stage of trust, from the stage of convenience and affordability. Now, over here, OTAs are playing a very, very dominant role. OTAs like MakeMyTrip, because OTAs today are not only the booking platforms. They are growth partners. They are the partners who are building that dream along with the customers when they are thinking where to go, what to plan, and what to do. So just to give you a perspective, just to give you a number, 90% of the Indian travelers today began their online journey, began their research online, and that's where we tap them, that's where we start the journey, that's where we start the dream along with them. Now, let's pause on this slide and wanted to give you a perspective of how India is growing today. So India, as we all know, is like one of the fastest growing outbound markets globally. And the chart over here showcases that this is not a short-term phenomenon. India, because of the kind of demographic dividend India has, it'll gonna grow the way it is growing for the next 3 decades. Now, why I'm saying that is, because first of all, just to give you a perspective, I'm sure some of you would be knowing what demographic dividend is, but demographic dividend is the earning population of any country, which largely falls between 18 to 60 years of age. Now, because the earning population of India will grow the way it has been growing in last 1 decade, continue to grow for next 3 decades, and hence the discretionary income in India will continue to grow because of the increase in earning population in India. Now look at the graph above, look at where Japan is. Now Japan in 1994 had this boom where the earning potential in Japan started growing. And that was the era for 10 years when Japan saw a humongous growth. Same happened in China. China, the journey started in, again, 1994, but because of the large population they had, it is still continuing, and it will continue till 2031-32. But as India is entering now, why I am saying that? Because just to give you another perspective, average age, for example, in Japan today is 51 years. Average age in China today is 41 years, and average age in India today is 29 years, right? So this means that the demographic dividend will continue to grow, and hence next 3 decades will continue to see a strong discretionary demand out of India. Another data point to give you a perspective is last year, 13 million passports have been issued out of India. Now this in itself is a very big number. This is like almost 3x, 4x of the population of Dubai in itself. Hence, the number of passports is a clear indication that people are willing to travel and people want to experience and people want to spend on the discretionary spends. To add to this, how the incomes are rising in India. Now, because of the continuous GDP growth in India, we see the affluent base, the elite base in India continuously growing. Now, if we talk 15 years before, the affluent base in India was just 1% of the total population. Today, as we speak, the base is now 5%, which is like almost 18 million population, which is the affluent base. And we project this number to be 23 million, which will be like 7% of the total population by 2030. Now, this means that share of discretionary income will reach almost 35 to 40% by 2030. Travel as a discretionary income has already reached #1 spot amongst all the Indians. 15 years ago, travel was not even in the top 5 discretionary income spends. Today, it is #1. It always used to be households, it always used to be jewelry, gems, all that stuff. But now people are wanting to experience, people are wanting to spend on travel. And that is showing in the kind of spends also. When people are going out for holidays, especially in markets like Middle East, in markets like Dubai, which is like short haul, premium destination out of India, we see a 3x kind of a spend compared to an average outbound spend from India. Now, coupling the India story along with Middle East, just to give you numbers, the Middle East is, again, one of the fastest growing tourist hotspot with over 400 billion economic impact on tourism last year, and 100 million international arrivals in Middle East over the last year. And out of this, 25 million has been in Dubai itself and almost 35 million in Saudi. So these two markets in itself contribute to 60 million international arrivals. And India today remains the #1 destination in Middle East with almost over 10 million, which is like 10% of the arrivals. Now, pausing on this slide, this shows that an average Indian from inspiration to travel booking spends around 30 to 45 days from a booking behavior. Now, what does that mean? This means it's not about a booking window or an advanced purchase window, which we generally call in the hospitality parlance. This is about 30 days of content. This is about 30 days of journey where we intend to participate from dreaming to ultimately realization. So that is where the inspiration starts. That is where the trust builds in. That is where the affordability factor comes into picture. And that is where the loyalty factor comes into picture. Now, India is not a homogeneous market as such. India is a very, very diverse market. The population is such that it is distributed across various parts of the country, across metro cities, across tier 1 cities, across tier 2 cities, and across rural markets as well. And hence, because of the diversity, the demand comes from all the channels, from all different channels. Now, online obviously is becoming a predominant channel in overall scheme of things, with online having almost 30-35% of share. But still, offline, which is traditional travel agents, continues to be another 30-35% of the market from an India outbound travel point of view. And corporate, again, this has become a very, very big channel, which now contributes to almost 10-12% of India outbound. Now, coupled with other holidays and tours, MICE, so this makes an opportunity of 38 billion overseas spend, which we saw last year from India, which was in itself a 17% growth year on year. Now, this discretionary income is not just a one-time phenomenon. Now, if you remember my previous slides when I showed the demographic dividend, the kind of spends, the kind of elite population that is growing in India, now this number is going to multiply over the next 3 decades. And we can very well imagine where this number will reach from 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now. Now, talking about MakeMyTrip into the entire scheme of things. Now, MakeMyTrip today caters to the full demand circle. When we talk about online, we have 2 biggest platforms, which is MakeMyTrip and Go-Ibibo, which form over 70-75% of the market. When we talk corporate, we have the MyBiz platform, which is again the biggest corporate travel platform in India, where we have 70,000 SMEs and large corporates associated with us. When we talk about travel agents, we have MyPartner as another big platform, which is creating offline to online, which is changing offline to online behavior, and where we today have 55,000 travel agents associated with us who are taking supply from us. And on top of it, we have a very strong MICE team, and we have all the other functions that I will talk about later. Now, if we add up all this and the scale that we bring in from India, this is actually where we are shaping the demand. Now, the scale, if you see on the right side, 87 million lifetime transacted users, 549 million downloaded apps, 4.1 million loyalty program customers. That's the kind of scale that we bring in the entire demand ecosystem of India travel. And it is not about only India. Now, we have realized that demand is regional as well. Middle East as a market behaves very, very similar to how India market behaves in terms of their booking behavior. And hence, as an organization, we took this call around 5 years back when we launched our own point of sales in Dubai. And today, we are proud to say that we are the #1 flight OTA over here and #2 hotel booking OTA in Dubai. Now, on top of it, now we are expanding our footprints. We are now going even deeper in Middle East. We are now launching another point of sale in Saudi Arabia. Rather, as we speak, we've already launched it. We are already started flights on that, and we would be very soon starting hotel bookings also on that. Just to give you a perspective of what this brings in this room, because as I said, Middle East and Dubai specifically is the short-haul premium destination out of India. This is the number that is very, very relevant from this room point of view. Why? Because 15,000 plus premium properties is the number that we've sold last year on our platform. And the growth of premium base, the growth of premium hotel growth on the platform is 2.5x compared to the overall growth of the platform. Now, if we see particularly how this number is in UAE, we used to sell 100 premium hotels. When I say premium hotels, it's like more than 1,000 dirhams. So in 2022, we were selling 100 premium hotels on the platform, and we've ended last year with 350 premium hotels selling on our platform. So it's a 3.5x growth from where we were 4 years ago, with 350 plus unique premium hotels being sold on the platform. And just to add on whatever moat that we've created as an organization, whatever strength that we've created as an organization, we are taking this demand to other parts of the globe as well. Because we are kind of partnering with some of the key partners in Russia, in South Korea, in China, and we are using our moat, the supply strength, and the partnerships that we have built with all of you, and we are bringing in demand from across the globe as well. Maybe 1 year or 2 years down the line, you will see that we are bringing demand from almost 15, 20 countries, as this is one of the biggest growing lever of the international market that we see from India. Now, I've already spoken about that, how MMT is like one-stop solution for travel needs, starting from inspiration to flights, to hotels, to experiences, and to repeat behavior. On top of it, we are investing a lot on technology. And when I talk about technology, we are building our indigenous AI platform, which we call Myra AI. Now, this has already been on the cards. This has already been in progress. And in last 1 year, we've already done a lot of course correction on the content part on the platform. We've done a lot of course correction on the reviews and rating part on the platform. And now, in 2026, our agenda is to take this to the customers, to help them plan their itineraries better, to help them suggest which locations to go, and with the kind of experience that we have, with the kind of data that we've collected over last 20-25 years of MakeMyTrip's existence, we can create something really, really wonderful for people who are there in India. And just to tell you, it's like 50-60% of the people who are thinking of travel, they are visiting our platform. So it's not only a booking platform like I mentioned. It's actually a Google of travel for India. So the inspiration starts on the platform, and if now we are able to build a very, very robust AI system on the platform, it will be like one-stop solution for the travel needs going forward. So I know people over here in this room are building some extraordinary supply, but maybe the one who will win will not be the one having the most number of rooms in this market, but the one who will start the demand journey from the dreaming part, not when they are on the booking page, not when they are on the payment page. So with that note, thank you so much. I think we can take some questions. I still have 2 minutes left. Okay. AI versus OTAs, what will change? What are key considerations for brand and owners? Was that for me? Can you take it back? Okay, maybe I'll start with these questions. How has the lead time changed for bookings? So, like I said, if I talk about the inspiration stage to the booking stage, the lead time stays somewhere around 30 to 40 days. But obviously, lead time varies from market to market, for country to country, because in visa-free countries, what we see is that lead time is somewhere between 14 to 18 days. But for countries where visa norms are a bit stringent, where visa issuance is like 7 to 10 days, there the lead time is relatively higher. There, the average lead time would be 30 to 35 days. But yes, again, lead time is a factor of what kind of bookings are happening. For example, for family bookings, what we see is that lead times are generally much, much higher. Lead times, even in short-haul destinations, even in visa-free destinations, are almost 30 to 35 days. And in the long-haul destinations, in visa-required destinations, it's almost like 45 to 50 days. So that's, and if you talk about how the change is happening, I would say there are a lot of last-minute bookings that we've started seeing on the platform. But again, the use cases of those bookings are very, very different. Now, coming to the first question, how from an AI versus OTAs, what will change? What are the key considerations? Now, AI, like I said, we are ourselves building an indigenous platform, and we have successfully, it's been like almost a year now that we have our Myra AI, which till now was working a lot on reviews and ratings. It was working a lot on the content part of it. Now we've started working on the itineraries, on building plans, tour plans for the customers, and obviously AI definitely will help some of the evolved customers. But like I said, the diaspora of Indian customers is very, very huge. I mean, while 30-35% is online market, 60-65% is still offline market. So AI will have a definitive role to play on the online market. But again, as the market works a lot on trust, on convenience, on affordability, again, very difficult to say that how an OTA will get impacted over here. But my belief is that if an OTA like MakeMyTrip is able to build a strong indigenous AI platform, then that will be able to solve the travel itineraries, the travel requirements in a much, much robust way compared to any other platform like a Google AI or any other platform because of the great wealth of data that we've created over the last 20-25 years. So maybe I think the time is up. We can take questions as I'm here only for the next couple of hours. Thank you so much. It has been a wonderful evening. Thank you once again.